What's going on, faithful? Welcome back to the island. At this point, I think it's important to give my thoughts on the Brandon Aiyuk situation because honestly, this thing is getting uncomfortable. Let's get it. Welcome to the Camman Island Podcast, where we talk all things San Francisco 49ers. I'm your host, David Camman. This Brandon Aiyuk saga, faithful, has become one of the strangest situations I've ever seen in professional sports. And I think to really understand what's happening, you really have to take a look at this thing from two completely different angles. The 49ers perspective and Brandon Aiyuk's perspective. And my goal today is not to defend either side or have you pick a team. My goal is to just understand both sides. So in looking at this, how did we get here, right? The Instagram posts with Brandon Aiyuk wearing a Washington Commanders hat, the cryptic social media messages, the gig is up message, the video that was posted a few days ago, public frustration with the organization, all these rumors, fan speculation about him wanting to go join his friend Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. And it's pretty clear that BA wants people talking, right? Whether that's intentional or not, every post seems to create another headline. So when you look at it, at the highest level, Brandon Aiyuk signed a 4-year, $120 million contract. The San Francisco 49ers made a massive commitment to him. Millions of dollars have been paid out. And there was a lot of talk about a dispute involving guarantees. The 49ers took some money back over rehabilitation-related issues. And whether you're on Team Brandon Aiyuk or Team 49ers, that is a lot of coin. That's a lot of money. And the 49ers didn't treat Brandon Aiyuk as a disposable player. No, in fact, they invested heavily in him. So at present, Brandon Aiyuk is currently sitting on this reserve/left squad list. The relationship when you bring up Brandon Aiyuk to John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, it appears that relationship in it of itself is completely fractured. Publicly, neither side appears willing to budge off of their position. And that's where we find ourselves in today, right? Both sides appear dug in, and neither side looks really ready to blink at all. So let's take a look at the 49ers perspective, okay? Take the emotion out of it. Let's remove football from the equation completely for a second. The 49ers are thinking, okay, we paid him, we extended him, gave him a long-term commitment, we negotiated in good faith, we have contractual rights, period. Now, I'm confident throughout this situation. This is a pro football organization, right? Pro football team that has, I'm sure, has spoken extensively with their legal staff. They've reviewed every possible outcome. They probably know exactly where they stand contractually, and everything suggests that they're prepared for a lengthy standoff. The 49ers are not operating emotionally at all. They're operating this thing like a business. And if Brandon wants out, why would the 49ers simply release a player that they've committed $120 million to? The team's position is show up, fulfill the contract, play football. Brandon Aiyuk's position is I want out, I want a fresh start, I want control over my future. And neither side at all is willing to budge on that. I think for me, the biggest question is what is Brandon Aiyuk hoping to accomplish with these videos and these social media posts, the speeding in front of Levi's Stadium? I know Santa Clara County has issued an arrest warrant The most recent video that was posted, I have to be honest, it felt uncomfortable. It felt weird. It basically, Brandon Aiyuk is suggesting the 49ers are afraid to let him leave, implied the organization is worried about what he could do elsewhere. And many connected these comments because these posts of him wearing this hat being connected with the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels, which I haven't seen anything out there that suggests if Brandon Aiyuk was released today that the Washington would even go pick him up. So this is where I struggle a bit. I'm not sure what Brandon Aiyuk thinks the videos will accomplish. The 49ers aren't suddenly going to go and watch Instagram and go, oh, you know what? I'm super intimidated. Let's go ahead and release him tomorrow. If anything, this makes them dig their heels in even deeper. So 49ers appear to be willing to wait. Brandon Aiyuk appears to be fine with continuing to add public pressure, and neither side is backing down. And I think this is where we truly are at an impasse. What I think is an interesting twist to this is in the coming up season, the San Francisco 49ers play the Washington Commanders. So if Brandon Aiyuk is eventually there for real, that adds another layer to this, another layer of complexity to this just absolutely weird situation. And I think for a while, because no one heard anything from Brandon Aiyuk, folks started wondering, is he still injured? Is he in football shape? Does he want to play football? Is he checked out? And I think this recent video answers a lot of questions. I think that these most recent picture posts, that man don't look super out of shape. Based on what he's saying, he seems like he's got some competitive fire. He's got some frustration, some motivation. I do not think Brandon Aiyuk is done. I think he absolutely wants to come back, and I think he wants to show everybody exactly who he is and what everybody's been missing. So I think for me as a 49er fan, why this thing feels just so weird, and I joke about this all the time, and faithful, you know what I mean. If it can happen, it will happen to San Francisco 49ers. It just will. If we're going to lose a Super Bowl, it's going to be in the most heartbreaking fashion. If a player is going to be disgruntled, the situation is going to be just about as weird as they come. And I've watched football for a very long time. And I cannot honestly remember a situation ever, like sports-wise, that's been quite as strange as this one. Every week, another post, another video, another rumor, another headline. This thing has become an absolute circus. And I think a lot of fans are simply exhausted. I know that I am for sure. Okay? But this is the important part that I wanted to bring home in the show today. And I want to take football out of this thing. I want to talk about the human side of this. Okay? When I was younger, I didn't always make the smartest decisions. There were plenty of times where I needed people around me to tell me the truth, right? Family, friends, mentors, having these tough conversations, helping me grow. There were people who told me, David, you might want to slow this thing down and think about what you're doing. And honestly, some of those conversations helped change my life. My man Paul in Scripture wrote that all things are permissible, but not everything is beneficial. And I think this matters because we all need that. Every single one of us. Nobody's perfect. We've all made mistakes. We've all needed grace. We've all needed guidance. And so for Brandon Aiyuk, I genuinely hope there are people in Brandon's circle that can help him navigate this season of his life. Give him some good counsel, some good advice, help him make some better decisions so that cooler heads can prevail. I know personally myself, I've needed 2, 3, 4, 5 second chances for me to learn, grow, and get where I'm at today. For Brandon, I think the goal needs to be to get completely healthy. And my prayer for the man is that he is completely healthy, that he gets mentally right and he gets back out there on the field. And I think what fans really want, and most fans aren't upset and angry at either side, they're just exhausted. Fans want some resolution, some closure, a decision. At this point, I don't care if you stay, go, you're traded. Just pick a direction and head there because everybody wants to get back to football. my final take on this thing, Faithful, is I'm not pro Brandon Aiyuk. I'm not anti Brandon Aiyuk. I'm just pro resolution. I don't think that Brandon Aiyuk is a bad person. I don't think that the San Francisco 49ers are some evil organization. I think this is what happened when you have the following things collide: money, pride, expectation, injuries. And when all that collides all at the same time, sometimes these things can boil up and happen. Sometimes people dig in so deep that nobody can remember how to get out. I hope both sides can find a professional resolution to this enigma that is this whole Brandon Aiyuk saga. And I hope we can all get back to talking football. So what do you guys think about the situation? I want to hear from you in the comments. Who do you think's more responsible? Brandon Aiyuk, the 49ers, both? Are you tired of hearing about the Brandon Aiyuk saga? Because I know that I am. Faithful, that's the show for today. Please remember to like and subscribe. It absolutely helps out the channel. As always, take care. Be blessed. Go Niners.